Well, hello, everybody. Morning, afternoon, evening, night on this 17th day of April. We have much to be grateful for and thankful for always. And even when I look outside and I see the fog that we would probably barely be able to see one another from the road to here, we give thanks to the Lord that He continues to come to us. Even in the midst of the clouds and the fog and the rain and snow, He is with us continually through His Word. And so today, through that word, we hear from Paul's letter to the Romans, fourth chapter, fifth verse. As Paul continues to write, he writes about that God's righteousness through faith is the only thing which saves. And so he writes, and to the one who does not work, but believes in him who justifies the ungodly, his faith is counted as righteousness. You see, if we were to read this verse, it cuts against all of our instincts. I mean, we're wired to do good things and earn good rewards. If I do this, then I get this. And in a lot of cases, we try to justify ourselves, whether it be in relationships or work or maybe even our spiritual lives, we try to. We must remember that if Christ had not covered us with his grace, when it came to the goodness of God, it would be inadequate were it not for Jesus. See, it's because there's a certain balance of virtue in our account. There's a certain amount that has nothing to do with us. The balance had just shown up. So many times we like to think that there were things that God had to have seen in us that made him go ahead and choose us or save us or redeem us. And Paul wants to completely dismantle that assumption. Because God, he doesn't justify on those who he sees improving themselves, or the cleaned up, or the accomplished in the spiritual name. No, what can we do in the midst of this? So many times we try and find some morsel of things. If we wrong somebody, we want to go ahead and try and make it right. So we make it moreover, and we go ahead and take care of them even more to show how much we care. But this is a hard word because Paul wants people to know, especially the Romans, who understood that if it made you feel good, then do it. And there are thousands of ways for you to be able to do and to appease gods all over the place. But Paul wants you to know and wants us to know that this comes from outside of us. Before God, there is no resume of righteousness. We come as those broken. We come as those fallen short who cannot repair that gap between God and man. And there we have what's known as the sweet exchange or the sweet irony of things. Certainly we could try, if we will, to make some deposits. And maybe if we go ahead and we maybe wave at our neighbor who maybe we made comments that were not so nice a few days prior, it might help things. Or if we compliment or care for our spouse a little more to get brownie points, or maybe if I take my family to church, it'll make me get into the good graces of God. But the question is, how do you know that you've done enough? Where does that end? And this is where God, through Paul, speaks clearly. It's not the wages earned that makes us lovable to God. In fact, the wages that we've earned, we've heard, was death. But what God does here through Christ is gives the open hand and tells us that what you have, I freely give to you. And so through his death, through his resurrection, this frees us. God justifies. It means we don't have to wait till we feel worthy enough to come to him. We don't need to have ourselves all fixed and put together. He himself has done everything necessary. And so our standing before the Lord rests not on our performance, but upon Christ alone. And so when you hear in the world that you need to do more in order to go ahead and make sure of this, when you, yourself, and your conscience goes ahead and says, I don't feel like I'm forgiven, rest assured, dear Christians, for Christ has died for you. He has forgiven you. God justifies the ungodly, and that includes you and me. but not on account of us. It is given by faith in the great gift of what Jesus has done. May we ever trust in him always, even until our last day. God be with you all. We'll come back here tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Bye now.